Welcome back to Love Daniella episode 16. I'm in a great mood today. Today just feels good. Today's episode is going to be all about productivity guilt. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, especially it being a slower season, a colder season. The sun goes down a lot quicker. So I kind of want to talk about this because I think a lot of us deal with productivity guilt, especially just like having social media because you see everything on social media. So that is what we're touching on today. But to start, my high this week was my friend Erica's birthday party. She had an ugly Christmas sweater birthday party and it was so much fun. I went with my friends Riley and Mitch. My boyfriend was there and we had literally the best time ever. So I had a lot of fun that night. And then my low is it's been so gloomy for like 2 weeks in Austin, and I have been feeling the seasonal depression. I've been feeling all of the emotions. When it's really gloomy outside, my brain turns off. Like I can't handle it. So that has been really hard for me. But today it is the first sunny day in 2 weeks, and I feel like my brain is turning back on. Like I can do this. But I'm scared for when it's like a month long. I'm scared for my mental, but we will cross that bridge when it comes. So today we were talking about productivity guilt. I have always dealt with productivity guilt, but I think in the profession that I do social media full time, like my job is to film my life. I feel super guilty if I am not doing something to further my career. So everything turns into content for me, and it's hard to live in the moment sometimes because I feel this overwhelming guilt if I didn't film anything, if I didn't post anything that day. I think there's a hustle culture when it comes to getting to your goals and being a boss babe and all of that, but I think we all need to find a better balance when it comes to working because rest is good. So productivity guilt for me is feeling like I'm not working hard enough, I'm not doing enough. I get really guilty if I just want to turn my brain off or do something that's just for me that has nothing to do with work or anything like that. I get really guilty. So I feel like it gets really tricky when you put your self-worth into what can you complete, what can you do in a day, and that is what you put your self-worth into. I think that can be a slippery slope, and I've definitely had moments where I feel like I have no self-worth if I am not completing goals and all of that. So it is something that I'm actively working on. I think I've gotten a lot better the last few months. I've been really putting effort into like who I want to be, who I want to become, the people that I'm surrounding myself with, the energy that I allow. I have been working on that a lot because obviously all of that has to do with how you're acting and what you're doing in your day-to-day life. So I've been very intentional because that is something that I have been wanting to work on for a long time. And I always say it, but I never do it. So I feel like I've been really good lately. Like it's good to rest and to take a break sometimes. And I didn't know what a day off was. When you work for yourself, you can work every single day. Yes, I have the luxury of being able to take a break in the middle of the day to go get lunch with a friend or take a workout class at 2 p.m. Like I do have the luxury of doing that, but because I have that luxury, I have this like overwhelming guilt that like I need to be working every single day. And also just like I think working for yourself, being self-employed, you feel like you need to be hustling, you need to be working hard because if you're not going to do it, no one's going to do it. So that has been a hard thing to try and rest, but I feel like I have been getting a lot better because I used to always be working when I was resting. If I was sitting down in front of the TV, I would be like, okay, perfect. Let me do outreach emails. Let me edit something. I always was working. I never just sat in front of the TV and just watched a movie. I could never turn my brain off. So I would just constantly be working, and I'd be working until 11 p.m. and I was crawling into bed working until I fell asleep. Like that was not good. And sometimes I fall into those habits, but every time I fall into those habits, I check myself. Guys, I swear that the only time I'm filming my podcast, that's when Bentley wants to play. Anything else, he's sitting on the couch sleeping, and all of a sudden there's construction. Like there hasn't been any noise all day, and then as soon as I sit down, it's like jackhammers. So I do apologize for that, but the show must go on. So just want to just want to apologize if you hear anything. Also, my boyfriend's on the balcony, which is right there doing a meeting, so I keep hearing him. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but it is distracting me because I have ADHD. So, okay, let's get back on track. So, I think the biggest thing is to reframe your mind. Reframe your mind that resting is productive and set those intentions. I think if you want to have a rest day where you're able to self-care and do a face mask, watch a movie, rest, cook your favorite meal, do something for yourself, I think setting that intention when you wake up, today is going to be a rest day, and I'm setting that intention, because a lot of the time I feel if maybe you didn't have that expectation, then you go through your day and by the end of the day you're like, I didn't complete anything, when your body really needed rest, but you have that guilty feeling of I didn't complete anything, so this day was a waste. But if you set the intention that today is going to be a rest day, or for half the day I want to rest, you're allowed to have those moments. So I think setting that up so you don't feel lazy or you don't feel that sense of not completing anything, because you did complete it. If you set the intention and then you completed rest, it makes you feel a lot better with the rest. And rest is so important so you don't get burnout. If you are working every single day from when you wake up till you go to bed, you're going to burn out. That is just reality. You need time to recharge and refresh and have a fresh mind the next day. So rest is very crucial, especially if you're in a creative field. It is important to rest and be able to turn off for a second. The second thing, I don't know if anyone else deals with guilt around things that you feel like are pointless. Cooking has been a big thing for me as of the last few years. I constantly feel like I don't have the time to sit there for an hour and cook. I feel guilty cooking for myself because I live alone, so it's not like I'm cooking for other people, I'm cooking for myself. And I feel like it's a waste of time to cook. And that is an awful thing. And so I feel like I've gotten to habits of snacking or ordering out so much because I feel like I could be doing better things. But making yourself a nutritious meal is productive. It is productive for your health. It is productive for your overall well-being. Don't feel guilty cooking. I don't know if anyone else deals with that. I feel like when I tell people that, they're confused. But I have this feeling of guilt when I cook. But I have been a lot better lately and trying to do it and do it when I'm not filming, because a big thing of mine is everything feels pointless if I'm not filming it, because filming it feels productive to me because it's still working. So if I'm cooking a meal and I'm filming it, two birds with one stone. And sometimes I do that, and that's fine, but it's finding that balance of every meal does not need to be filmed, and just because I'm not filming it does not mean that I don't deserve to cook myself a meal. So I have been trying really hard to get back into it because I actually enjoy cooking, but I don't enjoy feeling like I'm wasting my time. So that cooking is productive for your overall well-being. 3, hanging out with friends, unplugging, and being present is productive. It is productive for your mental health. It is productive watering your relationships. I know that sometimes when you feel like you have so much to do, you push your friends away, you push your family away, and you don't see people because you feel like you could be doing better things. But again, balance, finding balance where you can have a productive day, but you can also carve out time in your day to see a friend, to go to a workout class with a friend, to do something. It doesn't have to be your entire day, but doing that is productive. Let me hold your hand when I say this. Doing that is good for your mental, and you're allowed to have time to unplug. The last thing that should be a no-brainer, but moving your body is productive. I know a lot of people kind of go balls to the wall when it comes to working out, and that's their productivity. That feels like they're completing it. But I think my productivity guilt comes a lot from work. It doesn't really come from the workout, the eating, all of that. But for me, I have to tell myself that carving out time to go on a walk or go work out or go to a workout class is productive for me. It is productive to move your body. It is productive to get outside and it makes you feel so much better. Your dopamine is up, your serotonin is up. So moving your body is productive, and you do have time for it. Even if it's after work and you sit in front of your TV, turn on the TV and get a little 15 minutes in of your heart being up a little bit, that is productive. So I have been a lot better. I've been going to a lot more workout classes. I've been going on walks. Even when it's gloomy, I've been going on walks because obviously my seasonal depression has been kicking my ass. So I've been trying to get out of the house even if I don't feel like it. But that is also very productive. There's a lot of things that can be productive. Doing a hobby is productive. I feel like a lot of times people think that doing things that they actually like is not productive, but if you reframe your mind that doing the things that you love is productive for your overall well-being, that is the perfect shift. I think the biggest thing when it comes to this productivity guilt is social media. I think we are at a time in life where social media is so prevalent. So you see people be so productive. They film everything. They're filming what they're doing, what they're completing, their successes. And I don't think we were ever built to be consuming this much media. And I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of us, have this overwhelming guilt is you see everyone around you, what they're doing, and people are only posting their highlight reels. They're going to post when they're doing a Sunday reset and everything looks perfect in their house. They're going to post when they're having successes in their career. And comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself, because they probably have some weekends where they're laying on the couch and not doing anything, but they're not posting those moments. They're posting the moments where they're being so productive and so put together, and that is just not reality. And if it is, they're probably going to burn out. If that is a reality every single day, there's going to be a day where they burn out or they get sick. Being sick, I feel like in the last few years was the only time that I had to forcibly get off my phone and stop working because I couldn't do it. And I would feel guilty when I would get sick. I'm like, well, I can't film and I can't do this. And I would lay in bed and I should just be sleeping and resting. And I would lay in bed so guilty and so anxious because I felt like I should be doing something, even though it was my body literally shutting down and being like, girl, you need to rest. So yeah, I think social media has a big thing to do with why a lot of us feel that. But don't compare yourself to others, because you really don't know what other people are doing behind the scenes. You don't know if that was just an hour of their day and the rest of their day was sitting on the couch or doing something that felt good to them. You have no idea what the rest of their life looks like. So I would just have your own realistic goals and set realistic expectations. And if that's one day a week that you can carve out a few hours to rest and unplug, do it. Do it for yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve to rest and you deserve to take care of yourself. So that is the biggest thing. It has been something that I've been working on. I was really bad at it for a while. I would always tell people that I always work. Obviously, I think the biggest thing for me was I got management, so I don't do the back end stuff of what I used to do on social media. And when they took that control, I felt so lost because I was working 24/7. So when I wasn't working, I felt uncomfortably guilty. Even though I knew the work was getting done, I didn't know what to do with myself. I felt like, okay, I filmed everything for the day, I edited everything I needed to, and I would feel so weird just sitting down and relaxing at the end of the night. And that is normal. I think a lot of people get off work and they sit on their couch and relax, but I felt so strange. So little by little, allow yourself to have that, because it doesn't happen overnight. It definitely can feel strange, but you got this. You got it. Okay, I feel like this episode was so short and sweet, but that is pretty much everything I had on this topic. So I love you guys so much. If you have any topics that you want me to cover, my advice column is down below. It's all anonymous, so click the link down below. You can ask for any advice, any questions. If you want to rant to me, girl. Everything is linked down below. My Instagram, my TikTok, all the fun things. So I love you guys, and I will see you next Tuesday.